Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about the shorter version of Twist of Fate. Rhea finally confessed to all her crime in the presence of everyone, even in court, in the presence of the judge. And she withdrew the case that Aliyah filed against Rhea and Pragya, and she apologized to all of them for all her mistakes. I thought it was a joke before, but now I can see that Rhea has truly and finally changed. Let's continue. Rhea come back to Aliyah's house after confessing to all her crimes in court. Aliyah shouted at Rhea and says they would have taken revenge from the Kohli family, but Rhea went ahead and saved them. She asks, "Why did you do this?" Aliyah tells Rhea that the Kohli family would have roamed around the court for years. I had planned everything. They wouldn't have shown their faces to anyone, and they would have lost their respect. Rhea says if the case would have gone for years, then we would have to go to court too for years, and our respect would have been ruined. Aliyah tells Rhea that we would have bring domestic violence angle, and we would have gotten all the money from them in the name of alimony, and you have finished everything by testifying in their favor. Rhea says yes, I have ended everything. I am sick and tired of negativity. Rhea cried and tells Aliyah that I got the stamp of a bad daughter, a bad wife, a bad sister, etc. She says she doesn't want to do bad with anyone and she cannot bear it anymore. She says I want to face myself and I want to see myself. She says I will become a big mommy of Pragya's innocent child and I will take care of the child. Rhea tells Aliyah that if there is even 1% of goodness in me, then I want to save it. She says I have been doing bad to everyone since college days, and it was my dream that Rhea throws Pragya out of his life. But look, my negativity brought me here, and Pragya's positivity took her to where she is today. Rhea tells Aliyah that she lost everyone because of her bad behavior, and Pragya got everyone because of her good behavior. She says she used to fall, and Pragya used to get lifted up. She says it was the limit when I accused my sister of sleeping with Siddharth, which is very wrong. Rhea says I feel disgusted to accuse Pragya. She asks Aliyah to accept the defeat. Aliyah says Aliyah can never lose, and she pushes Rhea. She says you have lost everything, and because of you, I have lost everything too. Rhea tells Aliyah that you are a big loser. I did not see such a big loser like you before. She says I feel disgusted to see you, and I don't want to be like you. Aliyah asks Rhea that how dare you, and she eats Rhea. She asks Rhea not to dare call her a loser. Rhea asks Aliyah that what should I call you? She says you cannot separate my mom and my dad, so how will you separate Pragya and Rhea? She says my parents are in coma, but they are together. Aliyah tells Rhea that someone else had planned Abhi and Pragya's accident that led them to be in coma, else they would have died and they wouldn't have been in coma. Rhea asks Aliyah that who is responsible for my parents' condition? Is it not you? Aliyah gets angry and she pushes Rhea on the floor. Pragya gets up from sleep because she felt something. Rhea asks that what happened, and Pragya tells Rhea that she wants pani puri. Rhea tells Pragya that it is late in the night, so where will he get pani puri from? Pragya says she wants it at any cost because she is craving it. Rhea says I didn't know about these cravings during pregnancy. He goes and he comes back asking Pragya to smile, and then he says he will fill the house with pani puri. Pragya smiles and Rhea goes to buy the pani puri. Pragya smiles and tells her unborn baby that we are very lucky. You and your mother are lucky because your father is the world's best father. She says we will do high five on this saying, and she hopes that Rhea doesn't drive the car very fast. Aliyah is driving the car and she recalls Rhea asking her that who wanted to kill her mom and dad in cold storage room. Aliyah holds her hand and says, I know where your parents are. She says they are in the city hospital, and she locks Rhea in the room and says, I will not spare Pragya for what you have done. Aliyah tells Rhea that it is good that you reminded me that I am such a big loser, and says now Pragya will not be alive for even one more day. She says Abhi will be alive, but not Pragya. The flashback ends. Aliyah drinks alcohol and she drives rashly. Rhea tries to get out of the house and she opens the window and she gets out, but Aliyah had locked the front door so she couldn't go outside. Pragya talks to her unborn baby and says you are naughty like your father. She says we will trouble your father and then it will be fun. Pragya gets a call and she tells her unborn baby that your father must have called and says he will live 100 years. She drops the phone after hearing Rhea's voice. She picks the phone again and she asks Rhea to talk. Rhea cried and tells Prachi that Aunt has locked me in the house and says I am afraid that Aunt might kill our mother. Prachi calls Rambru and she gets worried because Rambru is not picking the call, so she rushed out of the house. Rambru comes to the panipuri seller and says, my wife wants to have panipuri made by you. Bansi, the panipuri seller, asks Rambru that didn't you see the time? Rambru tells Bansi that my wife is pregnant, so she is craving for your panipuri. Bansi tells Rambru that he cannot make the panipuri because it is midnight, but Bansi's wife says that she will make it and Rambru is happy. Rambru gets Prachi's call again, but he did not pick, thinking that Prachi is eager to eat the panipuri and that is why she is calling. Bansi asks Rambru if his wife is really pregnant. Rambru says yes. Prachi called again and Rambru picks Prachi's call, but he couldn't hear her. In Aliyah's house, Rhea blames herself for everything that is happening and she knocks on the door. She thinks that she got a chance to save her parents, but she cannot save them and she feels helpless and she prays to God to help even if it is once. Aliyah comes to the hospital and she sees Abhi and Pragya. She tells Pragya that today she will kill her, but Abhi will stay alive and he will continue to breathe. She says you both will be separated. Prachi runs and she reaches the city hospital. Aliyah takes off the oxygen mask and she also removes the life support system on Pragya and Pragya struggled to breathe. Rhea tries to open the door and she finally opens the door and she gets out of the house. Aliyah tells Pragya, who is struggling to breathe, that you and my brother will be separated. The light goes off at the hospital due to the short power circuit. The nurse tells the ward boy that the light will come back soon. Prachi got to Abhi and Pragya's ward and she looks through the window pane and she asks Aliyah not to do this. Aliyah tells Prachi that your sister Rhea provoked me to do this. Aliyah says Rhea called me a loser after everything that I did for her. Prachi asks that how will my mother breathe now that you have removed her breathing marks? Prachi cried and tells Aliyah that Rhea and I would apologize to you. Please open the door and let me save my mother. Aliyah laughs and she falls on Abhi and she takes off Abhi's marks as well and Abhi also struggled to breathe. Prachi tells Aliyah that Abhi's marks is also taken off as well. Aliyah says everyone has to die. You and your child and your sister will die too. Prachi feels pain in her stomach. She shouts for help, but nobody comes there. Aliyah is happy and she begins to laugh aloud. Prachi breaks the door with the flower vase and she opens the door and gets inside. She shouts for the doctor. The doctor and the nurse comes there. Prachi asks the doctor to check her father and her mother and Aliyah silently leaves from there. Rhea comes out of the house and she runs to the road and she shouts for help to get a lift, but nobody stops their car to help her. Rambru is coming back in his car from where he went to buy panipuri. Rhea comes in front of Rambru's car. Rambru sees Rhea and he stops the car. Rhea asks, are you here? Didn't you go to the hospital? Rambru asks, hospital? He asks if Prachi is fine. Rhea says my mother is in danger and she asks Rambru to take her to the hospital. Rambru asks what happened. Rhea says Aunt has gone to kill my mother and she cries. Rhea tells Rambru that I had called Prachi and I thought that Prachi has informed you and you both have gone there to save my parent. She says Aunt will kill my parent. Rambru says nothing would happen to your mother and Chief. They leave. The doctor checks Abhi and Pragya and says that they are dead. Prachi cried and she asked the doctor to check them very well and she feels pain in her stomach. Prachi gets angry and she says I will not spare you Aunt Aliyah for doing this. So this is how Aliyah end Abhi and Pragya's storyline in this series. So Abhi and Pragya are no more coming back to Twist of Fate. You can see them in another series, but not Twist of Fate. So Abhi and Pragya are dead in Twist of Fate. And it is not that Aliyah wanted to kill Abhi. Her plan was only to kill Pragya, but on getting to the hospital, the choco ate in her head and she decided to kill Abhi as well. So Abhi and Pragya are gone. Alright guys, thank you so much guys for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, share it, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.